Welcome to St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. This college is affiliated to Maharshi Dayanand University, Rohtak, and approved by All India Council for Technical Education. This video lecture is a part of series developed for online classes. Hello everyone, my name is Ashish Tripathi and I am working as an assistant professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management since 2015. My areas of interest are data analysis and data visualization, which are recommended to be a data scientist. Welcome to Object Technologies and Programming using Java. In today's session, we will study about classes, objects, polymorphism, and inheritance. Object is the basic unit of object-oriented programming and represent real-life entities. You know from previous video that every object has state, behavior, and identity. In this way, objects represent real-world things. Here is an example of an object dog, where name of the dog is the identity of this object, age, color and breed are its attributes, eat, sleep, bark are its behavior. In this way, this object dog will be different from any other object. When it comes to declaration of an object, the class is said to be instantiated. It is possible to create as many objects of a class as required. If we just declare a variable for a class, then it is called reference of a class. This reference doesn't have any value and holds no memory area. But when an object is declared, it holds the values and occupy a memory area. There are different ways to declare an object. First is with the new keyword. As you know, new is a keyword used to allocate memory to an object. Here, an object of class test is made. Next method is using for name method of class. Under lang package inside Java package, we have a class named class. It has a method called forName which is static and used to return an instance of the provided class name. This needs to be typecasted to the target class type before assignment. We must supply fully qualified name of the class having its parent packages and sub-packages as well. Next method is use of clone method provided by object class of Java. Firstly, we have to create an object by using new keyword and then we clone that object with all its states and variables to a new object by clone method. But it requires that new instance should be of the same class type as the original object. Next method is deserialization. In this, the saved state of an object is read from the memory and copied to the new object. In this example, we are using a file input stream to read the state of the object and this read state is then copied to a new object. Sometimes we have to create objects which doesn't require a proper name of it. These are called anonymous objects. These are used for immediate method calling and are destroyed after the call. They doesn't require memory, hence are widely used in complex programming. A class is used to define a new data type. Once defined, this new type can be used to create object of that type. Thus, a class is a template or an object, and an object is an instance of a class. A class is a blueprint as it is the basic structure of an object. A class is used to define new data type, so it is also called user defined data type. It encapsulates data values and methods that operate on that data into a single unit. It provides accessibility of its member at various levels. It is used to create several instances like references or the objects. All its members have default scope, that is, they are available in the same package. By convention, the class name begins with a capital character, but this is not mandatory. The syntax of a class begins by declaring access specifier like public, private or protected, followed by the class keyword and the class name. Next, we define various instance variables and member functions in it with proper data type. The data or the variables defined within a class are called instance variables, as their copy are available to each object. The executable code is contained within the methods. Collectively, the methods and the variables defined within a class are called members of the class. Java classes do not need to have the main method inside it. In this example, a class named box is defined with three instance variables, namely width, height, and depth. Next, in box demo class, the main method is defined in which an object instance myBox of class box is made. A variable wall is also declared with no value assigned to it. Next, we see the assignment of different values to myBox object variables and finally calculating the volume from it. Then we print this calculated value with the help of wall variable. Next, we compare the object with the class. An object is an instance of a class and a class is a template of it. Object represent real world entity and class is a collection of similar type of objects. Object is a physical entity as it exists in the memory, but a class is a logical entity having only the concept. There is only declaration of a class, but many declarations of the objects. Class is created by using the class keyword and object is created by the new keyword. For example, if you think of a company, then it is just a concept. But if you name a company like HCL, TCS, Wipro, then these are all objects. Each object is confined from the class and holds the different values like the number of employees, type of department, etc. In this way, we define the class and object has the values from the class. Polymorphism is the ability of an object to take many forms. The most common use of polymorphism in object-oriented programming occurs when a parent class reference is used to refer to a child class object. Polymorphism is an object-oriented programming concept that refers to the availability of the variable, function, or the object to take multiple forms. A language that features polymorphism allows developers to program in the general rather than program in the specific. Any Java object that can pass more than one is a test is considered to be polymorphic. There are two types of polymorphism in Java: static polymorphism, also known as compile time polymorphism; dynamic polymorphism, also known as runtime polymorphism. Now let us study compile time polymorphism. Polymorphism that is resolved during compile time is known as static polymorphism. Method overloading is an example of compile time polymorphism. Now, what is method overloading? Method overloading allows us to have more than one method having the same name if the parameters of the methods are different in number, sequence, and data type of parameters. Now, the dynamic polymorphism is also known as dynamic method dispatch. Dynamic polymorphism is a process in which a call to an overridden method is resolved at runtime. That is why it is called runtime polymorphism. When an overridden method is called through a reference of the parent class, then type of the object determines which method is to be executed. Thus, this determination is made at the execution time. If the subclass, also known as the child class, has the same method as declared in the parent class, it is known as the method overriding in Java. In other words, if a subclass provides the specific implementation of the method that has been provided by one of its parent class, then it is known as the method overriding. Method overriding is used to provide a specific implementation of a method that is already provided by its superclass. Method overriding is used for runtime polymorphism. Some of the rules for Java method overriding are: the method must have the same name as in the parent class. Method must have the same parameter as in the parent class. It should follow the is a relationship of inheritance to be overridden by the subclass. Hence, a method should have the same signature as it is defined in the parent class. Here is a comparison between the compile time and runtime polymorphism. In the compile time polymorphism, the call to a method is resolved by the compiler. Hence, the compiler knows in advance which method is to be called. But in runtime polymorphism, this call is resolved at the execution time, when the data input by the user determines which method is to be called. Compile time polymorphism is also known by the name as static binding, early binding, and overloading. Similarly, runtime polymorphism is also known by the terms dynamic binding, late binding, and overriding. Overloading in compile time polymorphism is where more than one method share the same name with the different parameters or signature and different return type. Overriding is runtime polymorphism having the same method with the same parameter or signature but associated in a class and its subclass. Compile time polymorphism is achieved by function overloading or operator overloading. Runtime polymorphism is achieved by virtual functions and pointers using the method overriding. Compile time polymorphism provides the fast execution because an early call is made at the compile time. Runtime polymorphism has slow execution because the call is determined at the execution time. Compile time polymorphism is less flexible as all the things are executed at the compile time. But runtime polymorphism is more flexible as the things are executed at the runtime and we can choose among the different options providing the input values. Inheritance can be defined as the process where one class acquires the properties of the another class. With the use of inheritance, the information is made manageable in a hierarchical order. The class which inherits the properties of the other is known as the subclass, derived class, or the child class. And the class whose properties are being inherited is known as the superclass, base class, or the parent class. There are different types of inheritance, like single inheritance, where there is only one parent class and one child class; multi-level inheritance, where there is a grandparent class called class A, which is inherited by class B and further derived by class C. In the hierarchical inheritance, a parent class is being inherited by more than one class. In the multiple inheritance, more than one parent class derive a single child class. But this type of inheritance is not possible in the Java. Hence, Java does not support multiple inheritance. Questions for today's session are: what are objects and how to declare them? What is a class? Compare it with object. What is compile time and runtime polymorphism? Thanks for watching my video. You have learned about the classes, objects, polymorphism and inheritance. This comes to the end of the Unit 1 of this course. Next, we move to Unit 2, learning the basics of Java programming. Till then, goodbye and take care.